Hello, greetings, welcome to the LEGO Takeover here at Zavvi. I'm Joe Warlock, I am your host today for all the amazing things we have coming up. But what are those amazing things? Well, I'm glad you asked. We have things such as a time-lapse build of a certain Astromech Droid, a look at some of the franchises behind me. We even have a Q&A with a LEGO designer because we asked you, if you could ask a LEGO designer anything, what would you ask? And we took your questions and we posed them to LEGO and they gave us responses. They will appear throughout this stream and there's a lot more besides that. Don't forget to click the banner down below and you can check out all of the LEGO deals across the Zavvi site right now. But first, let's start with my favourite franchise, Star Wars. I grew up on Star Wars and I love everything about Star Wars. Like most of you, I imagine my favourite film is The Empire Strikes Back. Seeing the Rebel Alliance fighting against the Galactic Empire and their onslaught as they try and take Echo Base 1 on Hoth. Now, my memory's a little fuzzy of that scene, but I think it went a bit like this. Uh-oh. Oh, oi. Close enough, but one of the most iconic things about Star Wars are the characters, and especially the droids. And one of my favourite characters, and my favourite droid, is R2-D2, because who doesn't love that little Astromech droid? And thankfully, recently, I got the amazing chance to build that LEGO R2-D2. So what I'm going to do right now is go to Past Me, where I built that R2-D2. And I'll give you some facts about R2-D2, and you can watch a time-lapse as I build it. Greetings, hello, welcome to Zavvi. My name is Joe Warlock, and today we have a LEGO build for you. This isn't any LEGO build, this is a Star Wars LEGO build. In fact, it is this Star Wars LEGO build. R2-D2, the iconic Astromech. 2,314 pieces. That is a lot of pieces. This is gonna be like a 6+ hour build. I do not expect you to sit through 6 hours of video. So we're gonna do something with this build. What we're gonna do is we're gonna time-lapse it, so you don't have to sit through 6 hours. But I will interrupt that time-lapse every now and again, just to keep your interest with little facts about R2-D2. Also, if you do want this incredible build, do check it out on the site. Links, as always, in the description above and on the page that we are featured on. Anyway, a few more details on the back. So on the back, you can see there's the Astromech with a lot of little details. I cannot wait to build this. We also have what looks like a lightsaber, and a few more things, and then some details about R2-D2, including here, 50 years, because it is 50 years of Lucasfilm, which is amazing. 50 years. I believe that's probably enough out of me, so let's switch camera angles, and we will begin this build. Right then, let's cut the bottom of this open, see just how many pieces this set actually has. I'm gonna guess it's a lot of bags. It's a, oh my, oh wow. Brace yourselves. There's another box! So, there's a few of the bags, and another box. Okay, suppose we should cut this open and see how many bags are in here. A lot. A lot is the word we are going to use. This is going to take some time. That's nearly 300 pages. Okay, brace yourselves, and let's begin this build. Right, interrupting a time lapse will show you where we are. We have built what looks like the main interior, which is massively detailed, but it's the main interior of R2-D2, and I believe this is his retractable leg, the bit that drops down. A random fact about Star Wars, in case you didn't know, the original Star Wars film from 1977 had two versions of R2-D2. One was the one that could control like a puppeteer, remote controlled, and the other was hollow inside, apart from some fans and other little bits, for Kenny Baker to sit inside, a 3'8" actor who would control R2 and give him his sort of personality, which is very, very different to Attack of the Clones, which had 15 versions of R2-D2. That's madness. Right, hello, just jumping back in. So I can show you, this is what we have so far, which is the innards of R2-D2, which is kind of strange to see, his foot, and then we've just built these two legs. R2 is also, random fact of the day, another one of the only characters to appear in all of the Star Wars films, including Rogue One. But he's also appeared in some form or another in other films, including Raiders of the Lost Ark, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Transformers, what? And even Star Trek. Yes, he was actually in all of those. Hey, back again. We are now halfway through this build. It's been about 4 and a bit hours, which is quite a lot of time, but this is an epic build. Look at the detail on those legs. Like, that is stunning. So we have the main chassis and the legs of R2-D2, which is fantastic. Let's get on with the rest of it. Hi, remember when I said we asked LEGO some of your questions? Well, we did. So let's get an answer to at least one of those questions right now. How long does it take to design a new LEGO set?
Oh, it depends a lot on both on the size, of course, also the available reference and complexity. So on this question, I actually can't really give you an answer.
Right, back to the time lapse. Hey, it's Joe Warlock again. This is day 2 of this build. This is looking absolutely amazing so far. We've got about 6 packs left, so let's get on with it. Okay, so that was one of the most intricate parts of this model we've actually done, but definitely worth it because we now have the chest plate and the 2 opening doors to show like his laser cutter and his little arm, which is kind of cool. How do you go about the design process when bringing a Star Wars character to life?
I will normally start by getting as much reference as possible at the character, and then try to figure out some scale and features that match the elements. And you know, if you have an element that's sort of 6 module wide, you want to try to see if you can match that so you can sort of build your model according to that. I'll also see if it's possible to do any functions, and if I have any ideas, I sort of just more or less to get it out of my mind, I I make small drawings, nothing fancy, just on post-its. Sometimes you have post-its all over the place, but it's a nice way to figure out, is it possible in theory before you start building stuff. Then I'll normally try to get a hold of sort of a top, side, front, back view, more or less to get all the proportions and start looking at that. And then I'll actually build. I used to build a physical model, but now I'm actually more or less building directly into a 3D program. And this due to, it's due to we have a new 3D program, and also because we had the pandemic. So now I'm actually doing directly into the computer and more or less trying out all the theory before I start building physically. Then when you start building physically, you also figure out, okay, there was something that didn't work and that sort of thing. So that's how it works.
One last fact, and this one is about the name R2-D2, which may have come, inadvertently, from the sound designer Walter Murch, who said, "Reel 2, dialogue take 2. And George Lucas apparently heard it and thought that would make a great name, R2-D2. Is it true? I don't know, but apparently it's one of those things that's over the internet that everyone believes, and George Lucas has never disputed it. So maybe it is true. The final interruption. We are actually building the head. So we are getting close to finishing this project. This now was even more intricate than that. But there's something really satisfying about when you actually fully get this to looking like it's supposed to. So nice. I cannot wait to see the full thing. What is your favorite Star Wars set that you have designed?
Oh, that one is difficult. It's difficult to choose. But I will actually mention 3 models, and I'll actually give you the article numbers also. 9516 at Jabba's Palace, because it's a playset. It's just great fun to do playsets, putting all the small the traps and all that sort of stuff. And then also coordinating it when we had 4 models at that time, and I need to coordinate with the rank of it so it actually fitted on top of it. And then I also have the 10-2-1, the Superstar Destroyer, and that's because of the sheer size. And of course 75-187. That's BB-8. And it was more or less because it was actually quite fun. It was a blast, more or less, to figure out how to put all the functions inside this ball. But also because it was sort of a experiment where we tried to put you could consider as a more adult model into to sort of a retail market. So it was actually quite exciting to see how it performed.
So here is that very build of the Astromech Droid, and it is fantastic. This is one of the best sets I've seen. This is a stunning scale, and it just looks perfect. It is, you can clearly tell, this is R2-D2. One of the things I truly love about this is the simple fact he has his third leg. Tilt the body back, and that third leg drops out. Simple as that. It is fantastic. It looks absolutely awesome like that. But this truly is an incredible looking build. Like, it's just mind-blowing when you see it in person. This is so nice. The details are absolutely incredible. Of course, there are a few little secrets on this Astromech Droid as well. On the back, he has two little levers. By pushing one of them, you get the little torch that he uses in the film. And by pushing the other lever, you get his little grabbing claw, which is a very cool little addition. Not only that, but inside of his head, there is a tiny secret compartment. And when you open it up, Luke Skywalker's lightsaber appears, like it does from the film Return of the Jedi. And in case you're wondering, yes, the head does rotate 360 degrees, and it also has the little scanny device that pops out the top of his head. This one also comes with a little R2-D2 and celebrating 50 years of Lucasfilm and all the details about R2-D2 on here. This is going to be highly collectible. This is fantastic. I'm in my element because it's Star Wars. If you want to grab one of these, as I said, click the banner and check the Zavvi site for this amazing, amazing LEGO build. One of the things that gets me about this is an update to the previous released R2-D2. But how do you update it? What do you do to go about designing a new version of R2-D2? It's a good thing you asked. I've got someone who can answer that.
Hello, my name is Kurt. I'm a design master at LEGO Star Wars, and I've been working on 75308 R2-D2. Well, R2-D2 is actually a bit of a fun thing for me because I've actually been revisiting the design I did for almost 10 years ago. So it was quite a challenge actually to try to reinvent the model. R2-D2 is sort of a multi-tool droid, so he has all these sort of gadgets, and there's some tools in the front, and they can be opened from the back, so you push as a push button, and then you have tools coming out. And then you have some arms up underneath, more or less in front of the model. There's a hand that can hold a tool like a minifigure hand. And then there's a data plug that he uses when he's trying to get his friends out of trouble. And up in the head, you have a small periscope you can extend on the eye of R2-D2. I've used a shield instead of a two-module round plate just to try to differentiate it from the other sensors that are on the head of R2-D2. The way the model is functioning, when it stands up, it stands on two legs. When you do a model, you also need to lock the model so it don't fall either back or forward. So you lock the model on the 2 feet in its side. Then when you put out the middle leg, you actually lift the model up and push the body forward. And then the middle leg pops down because there's a mechanism in the side legs that pops that one down. And then at the same time, you're actually also releasing the locks down in the side legs. So it is actually very technical. We revisit the R2-D2 model just to try to see if we can design it in another way and also improve on the functions. It is a completely different one than the older version. I tried to have another direction on the build, so you have a frame and then you put plates on the side, and the head is also built up. It's sort of the same structure, but it's built up with bows instead of clean bricks. That's the biggest difference. The front of the model was actually quite funny to try to solve because I want to have these sort of ports in the front of the model. I wanted to see if I could make them sort of more right to the reference, and then also trying to get the details with the blue lines on one of the sides. Try to see if I could get that better and get it in another way than usual. The new exclusive element on this set is this sign beside the plaque with Lucasfilm's 50 years anniversary. So this is LEGO's way of celebrating that. And there's also an Easter egg. There's also a lightsaber hiding inside the head. The lightsaber is Luke Skywalker's lightsaber that's been ejected to him in the scene with the sail barge in Return of the Jedi. On the main model of R2-D2 there is no stickers, but we have of course the plaque, and then again we have the sign 50 years anniversary. I am of course very proud of the function, and then I'm also proud of the front of the model, because that was a fun thing to build. I'm also quite happy with the solution I had in the head of adding a bit more details and adding features in the head. And so you can always try out new stuff.
I love things where you find out the background behind the creation of these kind of things. That is kind of awesome. But there is something more iconic in R2-D2. The Star Wars score, of course! Yes, John Williams' 1977 score is amazing. I think just about everyone knows it. And how you would ever come up with something like that just blows my mind. I couldn't create that. I couldn't even recreate that. But I think I know someone who could. Yes, someone did actually recreate that. Look Mum, No Computer was challenged by LEGO to recreate the iconic Star Wars score using LEGO. Let's see how he got on.
Oh hi, I'm Look Mum No Computer, and LEGO have set me the challenge of making an orchestra out of these little guys from the LEGO Star Wars Boost Droid Commander set. So I've been tasked with making an orchestra out of 100 LEGO Boost Star Wars droids. It's going to be quite a challenge. So today we have a rather large table with a rather large amount of iPads, which have got robotic like styluses on them that kind of play the iPads. So all of these gonks over here punch their little pivot parts, which actually play a keyboard note. And they've all got their own notes. I don't actually know what I'm doing right now. I'm making it up as I go, literally. But this is the art of making art and music and electronics is usually you're just making it up and hoping it works. I've only really got this up and running yesterday. Oh God, I'm tired. Oh, I tell you what, I didn't sleep last night very much. I was doing this until about 4 in the morning. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Success. Okay. Oh, woo! I'm really scared. So basically, I've been building this iPad table for the last few days. I don't know where I am or what time of day it is. If you can see, there's no windows in here. We're actually 100 meters underground. But I've just come to the conclusion that I need to jack a lot more voltage through the iPads to make it feel like real fingers are playing. This is the beginnings of the very large xylophone part of the orchestra. There's actually going to be 4 times as many as this. There's going to be 8 xylophones and 24 R2-D2s. Oh, that's a lot of R2-D2s. So the difficulty with this part of the orchestra is the fact that when the R2-D2 is spinning around, if you can see the pivot point that lifts up the beater to drop it is at a very definite part of the spin, but it's finding out where the R2-D2 stops in its process to that point and timing it exactly so it lands there every time, so it goes and does it again, so every time you want it to hit, it goes. I now present the Star Wars Orchestra. Stop. But as you can see, these lovely things are going to be quite interesting sounding, and I'm actually impressed by how well these R2-D2s have picked up the xylophone. Good girl. Tap on the head for a more round of applause. This is coming along. As you can see, it's very slow for me to play it because there's a lot of iPads and I've only got so many fingers, but hopefully the robots, when they're all hooked up, will be able to do a better job of playing it. But boom, and then you got to stop it because I haven't programmed the rest of it. Okay, it's getting there. It's getting there, slowly but surely. Hello, we're currently in a top secret location. And yeah, the orchestra is just in here, in this lovely room, in this secret warehouse. Oh, come and check it out. They're all chatting about all the shots that are going to happen.
Hi, my name's Carl, and I am a LEGO product designer. And we're here today in England to shoot a video where we show this LEGO Star Wars Boost Droid Commander playing the Star Wars theme on actual musical instruments.
Let's have a look at the mechanism. So right down here, we've got the first ones, which are the Xylophones, which are played by the R2-D2. So these R2-D2s have a mechanism on the front, which makes them spin their little special arm, which then connects up to the xylophone mechanism, causing the notes to play. And then they all play.
When we were working on Droid Commander, we're thinking about having R2-D2 interact with stuff, the Gonk walk around and punch stuff, Mouse Droid shooting and driving around. I never thought about making them play musical instruments, especially not like violins and cellos and all these actual orchestral type things.
So right here is the controller table. There's a lot of wires and there's a lot of robotic servos and iPads, of course. Right here is the pieces of paper, which are all of the different tables and what iPads they need to connect up to so that they're all going to play in time. Over here, we've got another one, which is the violin table. There's two of these, there's one on each side. Basically what the violin table does is the mouses have bows actually attached to their sides inside, so it's like they're literally playing the violin like you know, any violinist would. And they're all doing that. And all of the violins are tuned to certain notes that are required. Luckily, in the Star Wars theme, the actual bass line which the violin is playing is only 3 notes. Woo. Ooh. Woo. Need to tune them a little bit, actually. Over here, we have the rest of the string section, which is actually the cellos. They're actually a little bit quiet, hence why they have contact microphones on them to boost the sound that's coming out. But basically what happens is the R2-D2, with the spinny still, actually gets onto this, which causes this mechanism to spin, and then this circular plastic wheel actually spins on the string like a bow. And there's 4 of those playing the bass line at the same time as the violins. But over here, we have all of where the gonks are, and the gonks are playing these keyboards. As you can see, the gonks push the keyboards, and they play the notes. And there's 15 of these gonks playing different keyboard notes, and behind that, there is actually some more gonks. If you look carefully, you can see they punch these little light-up sample pads. And these pads, they're playing the drum samples. And there's 6 of those along the top, and they're all being programmed by iPads again.
This is crazy to me. I've never seen this many of our droids together and seen all the crazy solutions that Sam has come up with to be able to interact with so many of the droids at once is just kind of mind-blowing.
And in the middle, now this is the piste de resistance. This is the catwalk. This is where all of the one-off orchestral moves happen. Behind here, there are gongs that are triggered by the R2-D2s. I just moved it, so it moves forwards, and it causes the gong to get hit. Good R2-D2. These R2-D2s actually move forwards and just literally hit their heads on the thing like this. Hello! So that's quite a nice one. These mice, if you look in here, there's a shooter in this mouse that shoots out a little projectile that actually plays these xylophones. It's a very quiet note, but there's contact mics on these xylophones which make them amplified in their sounds. We got a couple more of these mice, and these actually drop marbles. Oh, there is marbles in it. They drop marbles onto the drums. Oh, I've got to fill them up again. But they play a nice note for a couple of crescendos, and then at the front, this little one, on both sides, they have this, and this one moves forward, so you're ready for it? It's a pretty simple approach to a pretty silly problem. But yeah, that's basically the Star Wars Orchestra. So we're gonna see what it sounds like now.
So far, I haven't seen anything really going yet, and I'm really interested to see how it works, because it just looks like a totally crazy setup and an insane project. So hopefully we can pull it off.
That's what I'm talking about.
We did it.
Well, we're going to step away from Star Wars for now, and we're going to move on to another epic franchise. The next franchise is Marvel, and it's a character I love. It's a villain. It's from Spider-Man, and he's right behind me. This is the Symbiote, Carnage. Yes, there is in fact a LEGO bust of Carnage, and look at how terrifying that is. Carnage is a fantastic character. In case you didn't know, Cletus Cassidy sharing a cell with Eddie Brock, who is Venom. Venom breaks him out. He leaves a bit of his offspring behind, which bonds with Cletus Cassidy to his blood, and he becomes Carnage, an unstoppable villain of the Spider-Man comics. Absolutely amazing. Look at the teeth on that. That is terrifying. And the details on the head. This is one of the most satisfying builds I've done, because for me, it's one of my favourite characters. I absolutely love this, and I think now I need to go and build the Venom bust as well. Even Spider-Man can struggle at times to beat Carnage. He's even teamed up with Venom to try and beat him, and he still can't do it. But you know what? I think there is one thing that could beat Carnage, and I think that would be the Infinity Gauntlet. Or in fact, the LEGO Infinity Gauntlet. Yes, no matter who you are or how fast you are, you cannot escape the snap of the Infinity Gauntlet. Don't forget, if you want any of these sets, click the banner down below, check out all the LEGO sets we have across the Zavvi website, because there are so many of them and they are all very awesome. And while you're doing that, I think we should ask a very important question. What if I wanted to work for LEGO? How do you become a LEGO creator?
If you want to be a LEGO creator, I think the most important thing is you need to build whatever you love, and also try to challenge yourself with new ways of building. Now it's actually easy to find descriptions on building methods, and also inspiration on the internet. So yeah, go for it and build what you love.
Remember when I said it doesn't matter who you are or how fast you are, you can't avoid the Infinity Snap? You could always try, especially with some of the other LEGO products we have, such as the incredible Porsche 911. This is a beautiful design. Look at that for a scale model. What a stunning bit of kit. That is lovely. Who doesn't want to own a Porsche 911? I may have said Porsche before, there's an argument, but it is Porsche 911. Anyway, this kit is amazing. You can actually see inside of the car the beautiful detailing on what would be the leather seats. This also has two versions, the Targa and the Turbo, and this is the Targa version, because in the bonnet you will find this roof, which you can then attach to the top like so. And who doesn't want a drop top? Opening the back of this kit will also show you the beautiful Porsche 911 engine. This is a beautiful design, and of course the wheels move when you turn the steering wheel. This is absolutely stunning. If you want to get a kit that's going to look amazing on display, get this one. It is beautiful. It's worth noting though that as beautiful and as fast as the Porsche 911 is, there are faster cars. What about something like the Bugatti Chiron? That's a fast car. That's an amazing supercar. 261 miles per hour on the standard model. Sadly, we don't all have 2 and a bit million spare to go and buy one. So what you could do is build your own. In fact, you could build your own life-size version. No, I've not gone completely mad. That is something LEGO actually did. They challenged themselves to build a full-size LEGO Bugatti Chiron. Did they succeed? Let's see.
In the LEGO Technic team, we came up with a really crazy idea. Could we build a full-scale Bugatti Chiron out of LEGO Technic elements and actually make it drive? This is the story of how we did it. It's one thing to get an idea. It's something else to actually make it happen. But our goal was to prove that with LEGO Technic, you can really build for real. So, our first rule was that at least 90% of our car had to be built from LEGO Technic elements.
So the first time I heard about the model, I was really excited because it's something we haven't ever done before.
We had also a lot of concerns because we don't do much Technic building here. So we just didn't know if that's actually possible.
It's something that moves the boundaries and completely redefines the standard.
Before we could even start the construction process, the team had to do a lot of research and sketching. We quickly realized that only a few technical parts could be drawn on computers. Most of the car had to be designed while we were building it.
We tried to minimize the construction as it is possible, so not to go with the classical chassis as all the cars have. We tried to minimize everything and to be more close to build for real. And that's the reason why, for example, now we have the A-pillar, the rear wing, or for example, door hinges made of LEGO Technic bricks.
And it was a huge task for the team to build almost everything out of Technic elements.
The real Chiron has very sculptural aesthetics with a lot of curved surfaces. Basically, there is no straight line on the car. So we had to come up with a way how to replicate the surface of the car with LEGO Technic. And for that we came up with this so-called skin. Basically the idea is we divide the surface of the car into very small triangles and then connect them with flexible elements. So we can actually have this impression of curved surface.
We not only had to build the car, but a special tool for adjusting the outer skin as well. One of the key design elements of the original Bugatti Chiron is the unique light system. The iconic wide rear light bar is an integral part of the Chiron's DNA. So it was very important for us to reproduce the entire light system in the LEGO Technic version and make it work just like the original car.
Well, as I heard for the first time, the model is about to be movable. It was like, well, we can do that. And they told me then with this. So I was like, okay, we gotta work on it and come up with something.
So we started testing.
And it's a matrix of 7x7 motors in 2 layers and multiplied by 24. So you have 2,304 power function motors in the vehicle.
The small LEGO Technic gear wheels were a major concern. They had to move a car with a weight of 1.5 tons. We started by testing other materials like metal, Kevlar and carbon fiber.
Well, it was kind of interesting for me that the LEGO Technic gears were better than the Kevlar ones or the carbon fiber 3D printed gears.
A major technical challenge on this LEGO Technic version of the Bugatti Chiron was the large rear wing, especially when we decided to make it fully functional and powered by LEGO Technic power function and pneumatic systems. This was a true build-for-real project, and all details had to be perfect. Altogether, the team spent more than 13,000 man-hours constructing the car and used more than 1 million LEGO Technic elements. Every single element was assembled by hand, completely without glue. The final construction had to be both stable and flexible, so the car could drive without breaking apart. And the result was astonishing. It was time to leave the workshop and head to the ultimate test track at Ihre-Lassien, outside Wolfsburg in Germany. The same track where Bugatti test drive their vehicles. Was it possible to build a car out of LEGO Technic and make it drive using only LEGO Technic power function motors? We were about to find out. There was only one person who could drive our car, and that was Andy Wallace, the official Bugatti pilot. He was ready, but was the car? It could drive, but only a few meters. Something was wrong. Was this going to be a major failure instead of the success we dreamed of? The team had to quickly identify the problem and fix it. We disassembled the hood to gain access to the motor unit. The problem lay with a heavy metal chain in the center of the engine block, not with any LEGO Technic elements or motors.
The update is that we have opened the car and saw the engine, and we adjusted the chain, and we made some adjustments also regarding the position of the shafts. So right now it's kind of more flexed, so it should work.
Everyone was ready, and so was the car. It could really drive. It was an incredible moment. The car drove faster and faster and continued down the track.
That was fantastic. Yeah. It really was, yeah. And it actually was gaining a lot more speed as we went along.
Yeah, after all it's amazing. I mean, wow. What else? This is why we came, and it's great. It's running under its own power.
Every little piece that's on the real Chiron is there. And it's not until you sit and you look and you spend time taking it all in and enjoying the surroundings. But also, you know, okay, we know dynamically it runs very well, we know that. But if you stand 10 meters back between the LEGO Chiron and the real Chiron, you really would struggle to tell the difference. I mean, seriously, it's that good.
We did the impossible. We built a car out of LEGO Technic elements and actually made it drive.
Did they succeed? Of course they did. But you know what? Going fast isn't everything. Sometimes you have to slow down. Sometimes the world needs you to go a little bit slower. Such as, I don't know, maybe in the 1980s. Maybe if you were in New York City. Maybe if you were a paranormal investigator. This hefty little beast is the new Ecto 1 LEGO build. And it is incredible. 2,352 pieces, and it took me a few hours to build. This, of course, is the iconic Ecto-1 we've all come to love, the Cadillac Miller Meteor, bought by Ray Stantz in the first Ghostbusters film. And Ghostbusters, of course, was originally thought up by Dan Aykroyd, though the idea changed because at one point it was set in space. That's kind of a Ghostbusters I do want to see as well, and I don't know why. Anyway, back to this kit. It is absolutely stunning, and this is kind of like the one you're going to see in the new movie Ghostbusters Afterlife. To show you a few details, you can see the no ghost sign. And did you know that ghost has a name? Mowgli. Yes, the ghost is actually called Mowgli. This Ecto-1 has a great feature. When you actually move it forward, you can see the antennas actually spin, because of course they're checking out psychokinetic energy and looking for all those devilish ghouls that they need to capture. You can open up the front and see the beautiful engine, and it's a really detailed Cadillac engine. I like the attention to detail on this build. It is so nice. This one also has its secrets. Yes, by opening the door on the one side very carefully, you can press a button on the other side and out pops the gunner seat, which is a very cool addition to the Ecto-1. I like that. Not to mention, opening the back, you can see inside of Ecto-1, and there's another little secret back there as well. And by pulling the little lever, you release a mobile ghost trap. Look at that. That's kind of cool. It's actually sort of cute in a really strange way. But yeah, a mobile ghost trap that fits in the back of Ecto-1. That is absolutely stunning. And of course, I grew up with Ghostbusters, so this was a pleasure to build. So it's pretty clear to me that it's possible to do just about anything with LEGO. You can build Carnage, R2-D2, Ecto-1, a Porsche 911, even a full-size Bugatti. But what else could you do? Could you control something in the real world just using LEGO? Could you control something, say, that's, I don't know, 34 feet tall and weighing 800 tons? Well, maybe, because LEGO asked that same question, and here's what they found out.
At LEGO Technic, we came up with a really tough challenge. Could we remote control one of the world's biggest excavators? The huge Liebherr R9800. And just to make it extra difficult, could we do it using only LEGO Technic elements and our new Control Plus app? Just like on our own Technic model of the LEGO Technic Liebherr excavator. This is how we made it happen. We started by reaching out to our specialists at the LEGO model production team, who know all about constructing complicated models out of LEGO elements. They kicked off the project by taking a deep dive into our Technic version of the Liebherr R9800 and getting to know the new Control Plus authentic app experience. After some discussion, it was agreed that we would need to build a mechanical contraption out of LEGO Technic elements to mount inside the cabin of the real Liebherr. Our Control Plus app would then be able to control the pedals, switches and joysticks that make the excavator move. It sounded like a great plan. But could it work in real life? To find out, the team headed to the Liebherr plant in Colmar, France, to get a closer look at the huge excavator in real life.
Absolutely amazing.
They clambered all over the R9800's cabin, taking lots of pictures and measurements. They then headed back to the studio, more determined than ever to make the impossible happen. Several prototypes were tested and discarded before the design was chosen. They were now convinced they had a workable solution to both the mechanics and the enhanced Bluetooth connector hubs. They returned to Colmar to put their theories to the test in an R9800 simulator and to iron out any last-minute flaws. after months of planning, the team were ready for the big test. It was time to leave and head out to the real thing. Miles from anywhere, they stood in front of an impressive R9800 excavator. There was no turning back. It was now or never. There was no workshop or studio here. Any issues would need to be solved right there in the field. The Technic mechanism was fitted into the cabin. The Bluetooth hubs were connected. The Control Plus app was activated. It was time for the big moment. Everyone held their breaths. Time seemed to stop. Suddenly, the huge machine started to move. The massive bucket slowly raised itself up. The whole superstructure started to turn, and the huge track began to move. Inside the cabin, we could see how the Technic elements of our rig were moving the controls of the Liebherr. It was a fantastic moment. It was amazing to see our wild idea actually work. With our new app and some ingenious design, we proved once more that when you build with LEGO Technic, you really do build for real.
I mean, I don't know about you, but that is pretty impressive to control an 800-ton excavator with Lego. And I can't really think of a better way to dig up the ground than using an excavator. Unless you don't have one. Maybe you just have a shovel or a pickaxe. And maybe you just want to go mining. Yes, LEGO have branched out into the gaming world with some of their LEGO kits, including the amazing Minecraft ones that I need to get my hands on. I think it's time for another question. What is the most difficult to engineer LEGO build you've designed?
It must be the Superstar Destroyer. Just trying to get the backbone and the stands in the right place so it wouldn't sag. And of course also getting these top plates to fit into the right angle.
By the way, in case you didn't know, we actually have a LEGO gaming stream at 3 PM on Saturday right here. So make sure you put a little note in your diary, on your calendars, or make your own calendar out of LEGO and make a note on there and then come and join us for some LEGO gaming. And if you're like me, you probably love gaming. As a child, I didn't have an entertainment console, so I used to go to my cousins and we played Mario on the Nintendo. What an amazing game Super Mario was! Needless to say, LEGO have a Super Mario Lego set, and one of the latest ones features his ever-dependable brother, Luigi.
Hello Mario, I'm Luigi.
LEGO Mario and LEGO Luigi, together at last.
Are you ready for a whole new way to play? Let's jump right into it!
When you play together, LEGO Mario and Luigi react to each other's moves, which gives you extra coins.
There's so many cool interactions to discover.
Are you okay?
And with the amazing new expansion sets, there's a whole new world of adventures.
Perfect for playing together?
Or by yourself.
It's up to you.
Get ready to tackle new challenges.
Figuring things out as a team?
Sometimes you gotta think smart.
It's always worth the extra effort.
The best part is you can play however you like.
So sometimes you might want to team up to defeat an enemy. Help each other out and work together.
While other times you might want to go head to head and compete against each other.
Let's go!
There's something pretty awesome about sharing challenges.
And sharing rewards too.
Get ready for awesome new ways to play and exciting new adventures with LEGO Super Mario.
It's my birthday in a few days, and like a big kid, I'm going to be adding all of these LEGO sets to my birthday list. Should we get another question in? I think we should. Let's go on with the next question. Which is your favourite LEGO brick, and why?
I was just looking through the design palette of elements, and it would be a boring choice of either the 2x2 corner plate or the 1x2 jumper plate. Simply because they both sometimes just save the day when you are really doing some crazy stuff. Yeah, but again, it's difficult to choose just a single favorite.
Like most of you, I truly love LEGO. You can build whatever you want. We've seen today, you can control things in real life. You can build a real life Bugatti, a Porsche, ONX01, R2-D2, Carnage, Minecraft, Super Mario. There is so many possibilities. What is the one LEGO set you would like to design?
Oh, I would love to design the beep. Sorry, I can't say that, but I always think it's fun to design playsets. And again, medium-sized characters like BB-8 or R2-D2.
Maybe you want to build something else. Maybe you want to design your own thing and have it move and be able to control it. Maybe you want to design your own robot. Well, that's also possible with LEGO Mindstorm.
Hi, I'm Dan, and this is Morten.
Hi.
And we're here today to tell you about the new LEGO Mindstorms Robot Inventor set. This is something we've been working on for a really long time, and we can't wait to show you all the cool models and play features that we have in the set. We have a brand new app with new code and control possibilities for your LEGO Mindstorms, with 50 activities for all 5 robots that you see here. The 5 models that we have in the set are Tricky, Charlie, Blast, MVP, and Gilo. And we'll give you a sneak peek behind the scenes of the design process for all 5 of these models.
This is Blast. It's got 4 motors and a hub for the head. And with 1 motor, it can control both arm movements and head movement. It's got a spare motor that you can put all different kinds of functions on. We got to know that the kids would like for it to have many different functions that you can swap out. So it also has this grabber, so it can go around and grab stuff. And it also comes with a hammer and a punching glove. Right now, I'm gonna show an activity using the blaster. It's called Guard My Room, and it's right here on the app. So right now, Blast is scanning a perimeter. And if you get close, it will fire the blasters.
One of my other favorite features about Blast is you can open the chest plate and you can see the differential and the gears inside turning as it does its actions.
Next up, I'd like to introduce MVP. It stands for Modular Vehicle Platform. It's a remote controlled vehicle which you can control with your phone or even a game controller. Right now we have attached a crane, and I think Dan wants to give a little demo of it in action.
So to remote control MVP, we have the remote control builder in the app, and you can see here the different modules that we have to control the vehicle. This is fully customizable, so you can change the color, but also the function, the layout. So this has all the functions to control the crane. So let's see if I can get the little crate off the top of the table here. So let's just back it up. Let's line it up. And let's extend the crane out. No pressure.
Almost.
Yes. Success. We bring it in and off we drive. So as Morten said, one of the really cool things about MVP is it's a modular vehicle platform, which means you can take the extensions that we have built here and you can rebuild them into something else. So this is the crane, that just removing 2 pins and disconnecting the motors and sensors. You're back to the base unit. So then you can take the motors and elements you have here and rebuild them into something else. So Morten has rebuilt this into a shooter. Thanks, Morten. And this just slots in, and then you connect up the cables, change your code, and you're ready to go with a brand new model. And the really cool thing is, this is a platform then that you can build your own creations on. We've made a few in the app, and Morten's got a couple of others that he's made.
Yes. This is the Brigade, which basically harvests bricks, so you can drive it around your room to clean up after when you're building Lego. A little off-roader here, a buggy, which you can control and drive around your house.
We really love the MVP. There's so much play here, and also so much potential to build your own models.
Next up, we have Tricky, the sporty sports bot that plays sports. It began its life as a Maze Runner robot, but then one day Dan came in with a Lego Duplo ball and said,
sports.
Thank you. And we got to thinking of how can we make this little robot play as many sports as possible. So right now, I'm gonna show you the basketball activity.
Yes!
So here we have a lineup of all the versions of Tricky that you can do. This is the base driving model. Here we have the soccer model with a little kicker, so you can play soccer with it. The basketball version we just showed you. And here we have the bowling version, where you can put in the little LEGO Duplo ball here, and it can play bowling. You can even make it spin the ball if you attach this spinner attachment. And finally, we have the pen attachment, so you turn it into a drawing robot.
It's the first LEGO set to ever contain elements from all 3 LEGO building systems: LEGO Duplo, LEGO System, and LEGO Technic. And we think that's pretty cool. So next up is Charlie, and this is the little small helper or assistant robot. It's a really cute little robot that uses a lot of awesome animations and sounds to really bring it to life. Also, with a robot like this, there are loads of elements left over in the set once you've built it to build all sorts of accessories, extensions, and really cool things. And we definitely had a lot of fun designing and coming up with things like a shopping cart, because which little robot doesn't need a shopping cart? We made a ski board, which is a cross between a skateboard and skis, because it looks like a skateboard, but in order for Charlie to move, Charlie has to sit on it and then use ski poles to get anywhere. And it's really stupid, it's really silly, but it's also really fun, and we had great fun building this. And then finally, we also have a drum kit that we've made. And we really think Charlie is a pretty cool drummer.
As Dan said, Charlie is very easy to animate, create new faces and even voices. But my favorite part is that he has this secret little hatch where he can hide little surprises. So here's a little dog. So Charlie is a cute little robot full of surprises.
Last, and definitely not least, we have Gilo. And this is this incredible walking base robot that uses 4 motors to operate the legs all independently. The mechanism is incredible, and I can say that because I didn't actually make it, and neither did Morten. We started with the idea, and I built one, and it kind of worked. Morten built another one, and it wasn't better. It was different, and so we said, well, we need some help here, and I thought what we need to do is we need to get our top designer on here, and this guy Chiron has been at LEGO since 1987. He has been making incredible LEGO products for decades. And we gave him the problem that we had. He goes and thinks about it for a weekend and comes back, and there it is, the solution. So it all worked out pretty well.
Hey.
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 He did it.
He did it.
He undid it.
Gilo can walk, run, avoid obstacles, and do all kinds of tricks. We try to make it a little bit more mechanical looking by putting the sensor sideways down the front and then sort of adding some of these detailed panels around the side to give it this nice angular look. It's not a pet, okay? Unless you program it to be.
So that's the brand new LEGO Mindstorms Robot Inventor set. We had great fun making this product. We've also had great fun explaining to you a little bit of the design process that went behind creating these 5 awesome models. So we can't wait for you to get your hands on it, to build, code, and play with this awesome Mindstorms experience.
Don't forget, it's LEGO Week. You can find these sets, clicking the banner and checking out the Zavvi website for all of these amazing LEGO builds. Well, I think we're coming to the end of this stream, but of course, we have one more question left, and I think that this is the most important question that you could ever pose to a LEGO designer. Are you ready? What sound do you make when you step on a LEGO brick?
None, as I sense the bricks by using the force. Else, it would probably be like a Wookiee war cry.
So thank you everyone for watching this live stream. You've been awesome. I've been Job Warlock. This has been Zavvi and LEGO. Check out all the deals all the way through. And don't forget to come back 3 PM Saturday for our gaming stream. As always, keep it awesome and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.